So I'm going to show you how to make this sound. Hi guys, here I am for warriorsoundbeats.com, and we're just going to learn how to make these like grimy UK drill, toxic bells, sort of that really dark, grimy, off-key kind of percussion sound that definitely heard a lot, usually sampled. I'm going to show you how to make it in Toxic 4, which is a VST that comes with FL Studio. I think you've got to be signature bundle or above. I don't know what the bundles are called anymore. I bought this back at like version 7. Any FM synth, generally, you'll be able to copy this sort of method of what we're going to do either way. This is the sound itself. And the way it's made is by having lots of oscillators affecting each other with slightly different ADSRs, so there are attacks, and having them manipulate one another off key or out of harmonic, if you will. So I'll explain what all that means in just a sec. So what we'll do, we'll copy this toxic patch just here. We are going to clone you like so. And what we'll do here, we'll make this our blank patch. By the way, if you don't want to follow along, you just want to download the patch, I'll put it in the downloads below. You can grab it from the website. But it's always helpful to learn these sorts of things. So right click on options, we can reset program. And that gives us our blank melody. Let's just copy our MIDI over, make a new pattern. Great, so now we've just got a blank toxic patch, which is just going to play us a sine wave. That's not too exciting. Now we're going to use all 6 oscillators. So where it says sine on each one, we're just going to click and activate all of those bad boys. Now we want 2 to affect 1, 4 to affect 3, and 6 to affect 5. So we're going to use the little grid in here and just set that up. So 2 is going to affect 1. Somewhere in the region of like 30, 34 was what we were doing before, and that worked all right. So we'll go for 34. We then want 4 to affect 3. I think before I did so it was 3 was affecting 4, but it doesn't really matter. Around 12 there was working for us. And then the last one, 6 affecting 5, somewhere in the region of 25 to 30. So now that's going to give us this. Little bit of a change, but not drastically what we're after. What we do need to do is go into mix here, and we're going to have all of the oscillators now playing out. So we have to take these all up to 100, and we're just going to max out all of the outputs. So each one of these is telling the oscillator to go directly out as well. So now we've got alright, now a big thing is each of the oscillators needs to have its attack and delay ever so slightly different. So what we'll need to do on just about every one is take the sustain right the way down, because we don't really want it to sustain, we want it to be affected by our note duration, so we can choose how it affects when we've got multiple notes. So now, cool, so a lot of them we want to reduce the decay down to about halfway or less. Do this to taste as you go along. If we get them also around halfway for the meantime, you can see it's starting to take a bit more shape, right? This is where the special bit sort of happens, where we're going to use the frequency offset to create the bell-like tone. So at the moment, everything's in key, it's harmonically relevant, and we don't want that for bell. So once that sort of strike has happened, everything just goes off kilter. So if we dial this back just a few point hertz, something like 0.9, around that sort of region. Yeah, we're starting to get that right sort of bellish tone, if you will. And then we're going to also tweak up any of the others that are modulators. So we can do it the other way, where we tweak the ones that are being modulated as well. but we effectively get the same result in Toxic. In FM8, not the same. Interesting that we're going to push 4 up. I just want to do it by ear as well till you get the right sort of sound. Obviously don't want it to be too wild. This is where we'll start playing with the decay and getting that around where we like it. Okay, so we've got sort of the scope of the bell sound. We'll just tweak it from there by ear by changing the frequency amount and changing the decay and sometimes the attack as well. You might want a couple of the other tones to come in ever so slightly later. Now the other little trick here is to put the reverb on. Get it onto reverb. We want to have quite a heavy decay. We don't really want too much of a high cut. We want to keep those high tones. We want to take damp down a bit, and we want the mix to be sort of around 30%-ish. Then we're going to use the delay. We're going to put time up to 100, put it on sync 1/4, dial the feedback right back, have mixing quite high, we'll dial the blur back as well. Okay, now we're going to look at adjusting the overall ADSRs as well. So we're going to bring the release here right around to half. We're going to drop the sustain almost to 0. The decay somewhere around the halfway mark should help us out. And a little bit of drive is good as well. So we've now got 2 variations of this sound. Let's see what we can do. And we could try layering them both together. Probably going to sound awful, but we'll give it a go. And that is how you can make some toxic bells for grime and UK drill in FL Studio using Toxic 4. Like I said, any other FM synth will do the job for you. If you want to see some other tutorials on things like this, throw it in the comments down below. I can get those done for you. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Don't forget, warriorsoundbeats.com.